What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Bros Before Shows, and we are here with the very talented Mr. Billy Slaughter.
Yay. Pleasure to be here.
Mr. Billy here I'm a fan of a lot of your work.
Thanks.
I'm a huge fan of Twisted Metal. I loved your character in Twisted Metal. I loved Mindhunter.
I'm a huge fan. Well, both of those. Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoy watching both shows as much as being a part of them.
I know. I just rewatched the Twisted Metal series again because the new season is coming out, and you did Magnificent Seven.
Yes.
And what was the movie you did with Clint Eastwood?
Richard Jewell, which was the true story. Richard Jewell, the Atlanta Olympic bombing in '95, and Paul Walter Hauser plays our lead in that. He's phenomenal. I'm so glad to see him blowing up. And of course, just working with Clint.
Oh yeah, that's an honor in itself.
There are fewer, people that can just embody like living legend. And I worked with him when the gentleman was 91, and I think he's 94, and like still on set as we speak,
directing and acting,
icon,
and everything. Yeah. You have had a hell of a career, haven't you? Like you've been in a lot of stuff.
I've been really fortunate. I'm just a boy from the South. Grew up, born and raised in New Orleans. I didn't know anyone in the industry. I always loved just film and TV. So I was a fan first, and I was a child of the '80s. That's what a lot of this fandom and the merch. But we know it was a great imaginative time pre-internet and everything, where it's like you had to go out and find your own adventure and make your own fun. So love just the storytelling, gamesmanship, role playing aspect, and I started doing theater in high school, just looking for something different, unique to get into, and then it just clicked, and I was like, I would love to be able to do this. I didn't think film or TV was really a chance, and then got some opportunities. Did New York and LA, and 100 plus films and TV shows later. It is fun to look back. It's always great doing something like this because you meet so many folks, and it's fun to see who's a fan of what. Like you might mention Mindhunter. It's human nature. People are walking by and they might try to profile and be like, oh, that they'll have horror tattoos all over, and then they come and see that I was like in Disney's Secrets of Sulphur Springs, and they're like, I love that. That was like one of my favorite Disney Channel shows.
And then you see a kid and you're like, okay, Disney. And they come up, I loved you in Twisted Metal, the ear guy.
Exactly.
Like, okay.
Yeah. Or like in The Passenger, you were such, I loved your execution, and you're just like,
wow.
Yeah,
thank you.
Where are your parents?
So you got into it in high school, and that's what brought you into acting.
Yes.
Doing theater and
yes.
stuff.
Well, like I said, I was a student of it for so long. But started doing it properly in high school theater.
And are you also, and I may have this wrong, are you the vice president of?
Yeah, I'm the vice president of SAG Louisiana.
SAG Louisiana.
Another honor I wear, where I can champion not only where I'm from, home state, hometown, but just also, actors. And the industry's in a tough place, as we know. I certainly don't want to be held accountable for all the BS that, again, getting back to the fans, I know so many of us are tired of just seeing rebranding and rehashing and more sequels. And so, I always appreciate doing
original
some
things,
nice original content.
Yeah.
But for me as a character guy, the variety is what just keeps me excited that, one day you're the hero, one day you're the villain the next
day. In Winchester's, you were the demon.
Yeah, I was the demon there. It's like I've been, Sulphur Springs, I'm like the straight-laced, Disney cop, and then Mindhunter, I'm, accused serial killer.
Accused serial killer.
Accused. I know, no spoilers. And then allegedly, he needs to stay in court. So some days you're doing a period drama like Magnificent Seven, and then other days just a comedy whether it's like Daddy's Home, got to play with.
Yeah.
I've done 2 films with Will Ferrell now.
Oh.
So it's not. It's a lot of things, and people.
He's just funny all the time.
Yeah, take themselves way too seriously. So they don't do as many comedies as they used to.
Yeah, as they used to.
That's fun when you get to just let loose. And Will's hilarious. When you're working with a lot of like the big comedy actors, and I've worked with Will and Galifianakis, Campaign, and and Sandler and Stiller. So some of them are. Some of them are wacky and zany in real life, but then others, and I put Will in that category, are just like really intelligent, super down to earth people, and they just get comedy and they know how to turn it on. But then
he's got a light switch.
Yeah, but then you got other guys that don't turn it off. I was on set with Jim Carrey one day, and it's like it doesn't matter if the cameras are rolling or he's playing the character. He's on. He's
usually in character all the time, isn't he? Like if he's in that character.
Yeah, he's one, and you see those 2 schools as well. It's like and that's why, fortunate to work with a lot of great folks. But like I'm never, I'm never super judgy, right? Because it's like you're there to work.
And everybody's their own way.
Everyone has their own path, and exactly for some people, they try to stay in character and in the world, and I can certainly respect that with certain roles that are more demanding, or especially if you're doing like I was playing one character. I was a lead in a film called Mysterious Circumstance, which actually shot here in North Mississippi. It was the death of Meriwether Lewis from Lewis and Clark. He died under mysterious circumstances on the Natchez Trace around like Tishomingo state line. But my character in that, I was playing Alexander Wilson, who was like a noted naturalist that was Audubon's influence. So, but anyway, he's a Scotsman, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you're doing the research and you come across something like this. It's like, okay, a native Scotsman. So I did it in a Scottish accent, So it's something like that where it's more conducive. It might be hard to like jump in and out of speaking, the Scottish accent all day, or again, especially if you're in a certain time period and mannerisms and holding yourself a certain way. You don't want to. To turn of the century and sit down and be like, "What's up, guys?"
What's up?
So, yeah.
So, tell us what has been your favorite role to play.
I get asked this a lot because it's hard. It's like choosing your favorite kid. It's kind of like highlights in different categories. Mindhunter was definitely a highlight. Really playing a terrible person in that. But that's one of the highlights because that was the only instance where I was watching one of my personal favorite shows on TV, and I was like deep in the binge, and then I just up and found myself getting to be part of it. So I knew just the characters intimately. Bad word for that show. I was very familiar with that world and the storyline, so I knew sort of how I could plug right in. I did a film as far as just roles you mentioned. One of the first indies I started was called Dark Meridian, and that was just a present day crime thriller that it's still it didn't get a big theater release, right? Yeah. So it was streaming and it's available. But like I recommend that to a lot of folks because that was a character that was actually written with me in mind, and a really nice, without spoiling that one, a really nice arc. And those are always the fun ones where like the characters definitely aren't quite what they seem. So you get to play different sides, multifaceted.
Very cool. So, because we're a toy show,
sure,
and we're Comic-Con, what are the first toys you remember playing with as a kid, and what were your favorite toys?
It's I know it's not original, but I mean, it's hard to beat G.I. Joe just pound for pound.
Yeah.
Because
being an '80s baby,
Yeah.
The G.I. Joe was the 80s. I mean,
So
like,
yes, I mean, so when it came to collectibles, action figures, comics, cartoons, I was born in 1980s, so like
Yeah.
definitely child of the 80s. But you know, as an actor, like I love characters, and so I
That's
felt
so
like GI
good.
Joe just had the most expansive
They did that.
And just
verse
kept
Mhm.
adding.
and every character type, and you know, that's when it's like the villains were as cool, if not cooler, than the
Mhm.
heroes. And then you
Yeah,
got into the
pretty much.
characters, but then like the gear was great, and you know all the you know the mobiles, and you know everyone had different things. I appreciate it too. Again, I like variety. So then like all the conversion toys, like
Mhm.
you know Transformers get a
Yeah.
lot of the credit, but you probably remember like there was Mask
Yes.
in the
yes.
like Mask Crusaders. You know when you got like and you know like it's like obviously you know Voltron, but you know Mask doesn't get enough credit. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, because that cartoon wasn't around long.
No,
like,
it
it was just a few, one or two seasons?
Yeah.
Something like that?
You had to be like a cool kid. Like
Yeah.
just everybody knew Transformer.
Yeah.
If you were a cool kid, you could enjoy Mask Crusaders. But what else? What else? Oh, and you know I always liked, I guess a little more partial to like fantasy than sci-fi.
Okay.
So some of the more fantasy set, you know, like a Thundercats, or even like Gummy
Number
Bears.
2 interview, somebody had said Thundercats.
Yeah.
Oh, by the eye of thunder. So yeah, Thundercats was great. What are some good ones? And even you know like Masters of the Universe. I like when the figurines started to get some of the variants.
Mhm.
Like I remember there was one subset where you'll probably remember where like you would you know they'd be all pristine, all decked out in their gear, and then like you'd hit it once and it would like chink the armor, and you'd hit it again
battle
and the
armor.
thing
Yeah,
would
the-
move.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then so like they would take subsequent battle damage and all, and like
Yeah.
as a child this was mind blowing to me.
Yeah.
You know, or like you could change the faces on them depending on if it was action, if it was intense, if it was non. So yeah, all that like early and again I guess becoming an actor where you could see it was the same character, but then they were equipped for different scenarios and sequences. Prime
Prime.
80s stuff.
That's awesome. So, I assume G.I. Joe would have been your favorite show growing up too, or
I mean,
what-
cartoons, yeah. That's
cartoon-wise? Yeah.
yeah, G.I. Joe was hard to beat. I mean, I had such a massive collection, and then that was that was such an ignominious end. I took them with me on a vacation to Texas, and we were driving. I think we were trying to get we're mid Texas, entering San Antonio. It was late. We drove past a drive-in movie theater, and this was like one of the last ones in the country. You know, my parent, we all did a double take. It was like, what
Yeah.
is? And it was just this lot, and we had never. I mean, my
Never did a
sister and I,
drive-through, yeah.
We had never seen a drive-through, so of course, spontaneous on a whim. My dad's like, let's pull over. So we like got up on the van and opened the doors and watched just an open air drive-in, and then we're like, this is great. So we stayed for the next film. So all this is to say, we didn't make it to our destination that night, so we just pulled out to some like seedy roadside motel, and we woke up the next morning, and our van, our
Y'all got
travel
robbed, huh?
family van wasn't there.
Oh, they stole the vehicle.
So it's like, yes. So it's
wow.
like, you're on vacation. So our means of transportation, all our stuff. So that was the terrible early childhood trauma. They did recover it, but all of like my
Everything was gone.
Yeah, all my toy collections, which would be worth a fortune now.
Yeah.
So
yep.
someone, you know who you are, outside San Antonio, in the Riverlands. I hope you enjoyed the van and my G.I. Joe.
Man. So I want to talk about Twisted Metal because
Sure.
I'm a Twisted Metal fan, which it was filmed in New Orleans.
Yes.
And tell us about your character on it.
So I play a character named Kerwin, who I'm in the flashback sequence, the origin story of Quiet and Loud.
Yeah.
I'm the villain who took Loud's ear, Kerwin.
Hence the
Yeah,
ears
yes,
he's wearing.
yes.
Yeah.
People, you forget when you're wearing human body parts,
Yeah.
and then you just wonder all of a
People are
sudden,
like,
like, yeah, people are giving you funny looks, or they're like walking around you. I'm like, am I that? You know, I'm not a scary guy, but yeah, when you wear ears. So yeah, Kerwin, he runs a place called Astral Burger, which is I think in like the future OC, Southern Cal, Orange County. But so I think he's one of those fun. I mentioned I like characters with different layers. He's the kind of guy who, you know, he can be your best friend or your worst enemy. If everything is good, you know, he's a great host. You know, he welcomes you
Don't
into
let
his
nothing
place.
go wrong.
Exactly, and it's like if the more he can do for you, and what can he get you. But then you cross him. You know, I keep a butcher knife on my side, and you cross him, and he just, I mean, takes body parts, but he prefers ears.
Ears.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You know, everyone has their thing.
And they do.
He's into ears.
So you have done several cons.
I might even, wait, you know, I want to gift you, from me to you, a personal
ear.
You know?
Nice.
Some people find change in the sofa. I just
Oh,
you
ear.
never know when
A body part.
an extra ear.
Is
might
anybody
fall.
missing a right ear? Like,
So,
that's awesome.
from
Thank
Kerwin
you.
to you, enjoy.
That's
So-
really cool.
You've done several cons because I've seen you.
Yes.
What do you think about the South Mississippi Toy Fest?
The Toy Fest is a whole lot of fun. Like you said, I appreciate, you know, niches. Like every con has their own identity, and so, you know, being the retro toys are super cool because it's so nostalgic. I mean, again, like so much modern stuff, as we already mentioned, they're throwing back to, you know, the old stuff. I think there was just so much more originality, ingenuity, charm.
Drop the ear.
Drop your ear.
That's right. I will see because you don't have a necklace.
I don't have a necklace.
Get
yet.
yourself a necklace and it takes care of that problem. But yeah, it's a super cool fest. Definitely come check it out. And I'm just always in great spirits when I'm in Mississippi because I've worked on some great projects here. Mysterious Circumstances being one, and I'll give you an exclusive right here.
Oh.
My next project, it seems, is going to bring me back to Mississippi. It's another historical piece, but you know, with actual figures. So I probably can't talk too much about the project, but I'm getting to play William Faulkner in that.
Okay.
So yeah,
Awesome.
another
Okay.
Mississippi
Really cool.
boy.
Another
Yeah.
Mississippi boy. Yeah.
Well, from not too far away, who did okay for himself.
Yeah. Well, man, we really do appreciate you coming to do the show with us.
There aren't many William Faulkner action figures, so if I can
Unfortunately.
file a complaint, maybe for next year, you know.
Well, you need to file with the vendors.
There you
not with
go.
us.
So hook me up with like a toy guy, and next year I'll come back and have William Faulkner action figures
That would be amazing.
that I can sign instead of ears. You know, a little more highbrow.
Yeah. Moving up a little bit. Yeah. Well, we appreciate you coming. We appreciate you doing the show. We appreciate you coming to the con. And it's been a joy to have you. And like I said, I am a fan.
Thank you much.
And
It was a super fun day.
it's been fun to be able to hang out with you, interview you, and everything. So appreciate it.
Well, cool. Yeah, thanks for putting this together.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah, thanks, man.
come on down. We're
Yeah.
having a lot of fun here. Check them out.
Thank you, everybody. Y'all have a good one. Till the next episode.